Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm Sarah, this is No BS Beauty, and it is freaking cold outside today. But I got the warmest winter coat ever. I kind of look like I'm wearing a sleeping bag in it, so yeah, anyway. It's so big I got myself caught on the door. And the thing says -40 out, which is not right. Anyway, on to today's video. I thought I'd talk about something a little different today. It's got a couple different terms: social threading, fake reviews, astroturfing is another term. And first, I discuss this in the newsletter. So if you haven't subscribed, I will link to subscription below. Okay, so astroturfing. I will share a definition of it with you for those aren't familiar with the term. Astroturfing is the disguising of an orchestrated campaign as a grassroots event, i.e. a spontaneous upwelling of public opinion. So suddenly there's a brand you've never heard of, and then suddenly there's 80 different videos and 30 different Reddit threads, and everyone on Instagram is posting about it, yada, yada, yada. Suddenly they're getting hyped. Basically, it's basically what it is corporate brand leaders pretending to be customers online. It can be that, or it could be a moderator of a sub, or it could just be people the brand hired to do this. Actually, it kind of goes back, and I'll link to a few articles about it or threads about it. So this kind of started a long time ago, and it's not just in skincare, beauty, it's in everything: shoes, politics, cell phones, equipment, all that stuff. It's everywhere. So there's really no way to totally avoid it. But so about a decade ago, there is, if you're not familiar with Reddit, Reddit is a forum where you post things, and there's different subreddits of different topics. So there's a skincare addiction subreddit. There's a lot of different skin subreddits, but back in the day, this was a pretty popular one. It has millions of subscribers to it. But these subreddits also have moderators, which are in charge of deleting like spam, or if somebody posts something inappropriate or whatever, they delete it. Or they make sure every post is a quality post and fits guidelines and things like that. And this person that was the moderator for this very popular thread was actually working for Paula's Choice. And therefore, Paula's Choice became quite popular on this subreddit because the moderator was posting and putting through all these posts about them, making them look like they were organic. Meanwhile, they weren't. It was just a coordinated target on everybody. And I'm even familiar with other YouTubers posting about themselves disguised as fans or whatever, followers, I guess I should say. So I'm aware of YouTubers that have done that. I'm not gonna they're not gonna out them or anything, but anytime you start hearing too much about something, always be a little suspicious. It's always better to be that way anyway. So how does astroturfing totally relate other than this campaign? It's very interesting. So Reddit makes it very easy for people to be dozens of different people. You can sign up. You can create dozens and dozens of Reddit accounts that look like they're different people. And then I've even heard of, actually, I've got a few quotes from people that have actually done this before, where they'll post a question, and then they'll be the first person to reply to their question with, "Oh, I'm looking for something that will help stop my acne." And then they'll reply under a different username, "Oh, I've been using the Paula's Choice 2% BHA for years. It's the best thing ever." And then they'll post it again under another different Reddit thread. And people even do this to my YouTube channel, the community. When you see people commenting, replying to videos, I've noticed it with certain brands. Sometimes people will ask me to review something, and then sometimes if it's like, "Oh yeah, that's a great brand," and then another third person jumps in, "Oh, this brand is great for anti-aging," and then yeah, it's like, okay. Yeah, it's not necessarily the truth, but there's probably something else going on. Not necessarily all the time, but it does happen, and it happens everywhere. Reddit's not immune. YouTube is big. I mean, people now get paid for their reviews on YouTube, and half the time, I don't think they even admit it because they want it to look organic, So it's kind of sad where all this has went with social media, because it could be and is used for a lot of good things, but it's also used for a lot of nefarious purposes. Some people will do anything to make $1. I mean, that's it. So there's a lot of brands that have been accused of this. Omnilux, which is a company that makes LED devices. Strivectin. Gold Bond has been accused of this. Lately, I've been hearing about their corrector, Crepey Race moisturizer from Gold Bond, like a lot lately. I'm a little suspicious. Let's see, what else? CeraVe, Herbivore, Murad, Muesli, Naturium, New Face, Foreo, Anua, Medicube, Moki Skin, and V-Green. And some of these brands have been banned from certain Reddit threads. There's an Asian beauty Reddit thread, and I think Anua, Medicube, Moki Skin, and V-Green have all been banned from it because they've been reaching out to moderators or people that are heavily influential in the sub, trying to get them to secretly do some paid reviews. So here's somebody that was doing this. Her name is GEAE. Obviously, this is probably a throwaway account. Okay, so they said, in the specific times when I had to be an ambassador of brands, I mostly had complete control over the tactics. What I did was to behave as a regular user, create a persona that interacted and asked about my own concerns, and then would pop into related subs and threads replying to general questions or helping other users mentioning the product, sometimes casually, sometimes praising it. I also had many other replies without talking about it. To be honest, if it's done well, it's quite hard to spot. I had hours to do this. I don't think anyone would have guessed that woman was promoting the product instead of believing she had a good experience with it and was sharing her own opinion. But if someone looks suspicious, I'd check, and I'd check if while participating in subs, they're somehow always mentioning that one brand in one way or another. Because I talk about many other products, but made sure to mostly say the brands I worked for. Also, little to no criticism about them, but openly mention other brands, products, downsides. And I don't know how long a lot of you have been involved and interested in skincare, but Sunday Riley was caught bold-faced doing this with their employees. Their employees were required to go and post glowing reviews about, it was a certain product at the time, I don't even remember. And they were actually found liable for this, and I believe they ended up having a class action lawsuit because this breaks FTC rules. So there's a lot of different brands that have been accused of this. There's somebody else that posted about it. This is a different person. So after all the backlash for fake reviews, I have to confess I was paid to write fake reviews on forums and sites similar to Reddit. And this says, the title says it all. It's a throwaway account because I don't want the recommendations to be connected with this post. I'm from Europe, and after posting on some forums that are popular in my country and region, I was contacted from administrator of the biggest forum to post reviews that are not bad about products they sent me because members of the forum were trusting me, and I received lots of cosmetics from them and some cash. So they're being paid, free goodies. Sounds like every influencer these days, doesn't it? I mean, almost all of them now. How many are there that don't take the free products these days? I mean, me. There's maybe a handful of others, but these days, I guess if you want to do this, you just become an influencer then. Anyway, or take stuff from Influencer and stuff like that. So anyway, so be aware, guys. Ask me anything, but a lot of people ask them like what brands. They wouldn't say. And then they said it was mostly hair care and body care products, but some face lotion, serums, and makeup from brands that were expanding to our market. And they also said some more information. The weirdest thing I promoted was definitely razors. I forgot that one. It was a girly, shitty razor that was so bad I still remember all the blood after using it. The post was something like this. Cosmetic store chain announces new brand coming to town next month. Before I would get contacted and receive products, and someone will post a new topic about that brand, and we would engage in discussion to raise attention to it. And some people who I suspect had the same job as me even wrote extremely fake reviews like, I bought this lipstick when I was traveling to blah, blah, blah. Last month, it was so good. The texture is so great. The packaging is so nice. It's so colorful. I used to write things like, this is a nice lipstick. When they send you shampoo, conditioner, and serum for hair, they'd add up some products from the same company. And next time they ask you, hey, can you put in a good word about that eye cream we sent you 2 months ago? So we weren't exactly paid to lie. They just suggested we skip the bad reviews If someone wrote bad things, they weren't getting new stuff again anytime soon. The community was popular, and our fake reviews ended up on portals and magazines, etc. So yeah, so they say it's very scum. Somebody else says it's very scummy that companies would do this. I only really did it the first couple of weeks. I didn't want to write lies anymore. Yeah, so it's interesting. So I guess this leads me to say, always be very skeptical of anything you read, anything anyone says. Use your own knowledge, experience, go with your gut feeling. I mean, if something seems too good to be true, it usually is. I mean, in general, in skincare, there's really no actual miracle product. I mean, there's things that I consider for me to be very wonderful and amazing, but there's nothing that's just a total miracle. I mean, there's a lot of things that are gold standard, retinoids, exfoliants, vitamin C, but there's no one product aside from anything else that is going to do anything that something else can't do, or things like that. So go with your gut feeling, trust but verify, and always be skeptical. And it's getting even worse. I mean, a lot of this started a decade ago or more, but it's gotten even worse. And now a lot of influencers that take all the free stuff, I mean, it's just out of control. And Naturium doing some of these fake things, and seeing their name pop up wasn't totally surprising to me either. But yeah, Herbivore's name pop up, some shady companies that I don't trust to begin with. So yeah, so anyway, curious in hearing your thoughts. And it's hard because I think a lot of things end up becoming an ad, and it's hard to even tell which ones are fake or which ones are real. So yeah, anyway, leave a comment with your thoughts on this topic. Yeah, so skepticism is always a good thing when it comes to everything, and always go with your gut feeling. So yeah, will rarely lead you in the wrong direction. Okay, thanks so much. Bye, guys.